everyone, it's Tina on Pranava Beauty. So finally doing my overview / review of the Smashbox Full Exposure palette. So I got it quite a few months ago from Sephora. I did a haul, which I will link down below if you didn't see that one, and I got it through a mail forwarder here. But anyway, that's the actual palette. So the cover is actually just a cardboard. See, just a smooth, sleek black cardboard, and then on the back it actually goes over the different numbering system for the eyeshadows. And then just quickly showing you, before I'll do swatches shortly, but that inside the palette you've got a rather large mirror there, and then you've got the 14 eyeshadows. So you do have a top row of shimmer shadows, which are numbered really simply, so from S1 to S7, and then a row of matte eyeshadows, which again are numbered really simply from M1 to M7. So I'll go to those in a moment. Just to show you what comes with the actual palette, you do get a little leaflet here, and if you open it up, it actually goes over just simple steps on applying eyeshadows for different eye shapes. For example, we've got almond, upturned, hooded eye, and then different language on the back. So that's a fairly cute little guide there. You also get a little mascara. So I got a mini size of the full exposure mascara. It's actually got a fairly decent applicator. Now I've only used this a couple of times on myself. I didn't actually use the wand because I wanted to try it on different people. So with the applicator, or a disposable applicator, and it's been fine. I wouldn't say I'm blown away by it, sort of giving me volume and length, but it seemed to last most of the day. But I did notice a little bit of flaking towards the end of the day, and on other people I didn't sort of have any complaints. And just quickly, a little brush. It's actually fairly good for one that comes with an actual palette. So you've got the duo end there, you've got more of your sort of rounded brush you could use for shading, blending or shading, and then on the other end you've got this two-tone colored one, which is, it's so cute. I don't know why it makes me think of zebras, but it's sort of a flat edge, so you can pack on color over your lid, particularly for say the shimmery ones if you want. As far as the quality, I can't really tell because I haven't actually used this one. I mean, I've just sort of left it to the side. I've got so many other brushes that I have used on this palette. I've tried this palette on myself and also on other people. But anyway, we'll get to the actual shadows themselves. So let's see if I have to do it this way. Anything that doesn't really show up on camera, what I'll do is I'll just insert photos as well, because I know sometimes it's hard to tell with the lighting quality where I am. And if you do see a little head bobbing around in the background, it's my son. So. Now to the actual shadows, I have seen a lot of different mixed reviews, kind of like the Narcissus palette from NARS, which I will be doing later on once I've sort of played with it a little bit more. Some people love the pigmentation, some people hate it, some people don't like the quality, or they don't compare to the quality of other Smashbox eyeshadows. Now I've only ever tried one Smashbox eyeshadow before, so I can't comment on the comparison that way. I'm just going to do it solely based on the eyeshadows in here. Now for me, just the colour range itself is quite good. It's right up my sort of alley. I love the browns, the taupey browns, the lighter beiges and all that. That's sort of more my sort of eye, like my brown, or you can get your smoky eye. Even that one, like it's a taupey grey, which is really nice as well, all over the lid. So honestly for me, I did use a lot of these ones, the matte ones, a lot more. I just find they work a lot more friendlier on my eye. I'm not a big fan of shimmer shadows, but obviously when I've been testing it, I've still tried it, and I've tried it on other people. Now I'm just going to quickly do a little swatch. I'm going to do it with brushes because you really don't get the true sort of feel for them with your fingers alone. So I'm just going to use this one, and I'm actually going to do them wet and dry, which I feel you need to do if you want to sort of get a good feel for them. So this one I've had to do 3 swipes with my brush. That's that first dark sort of glittery color there. Now one thing I do notice is when I've been using any type of brush, whether it be natural or synthetic, in these they sort of bunch up a little bit. Like they do come off not loose and powdery, for example, like the Lorac eyeshadows that I have in my Pro palette. You just literally touch those and they're so pigmented, but you get quite a little bit of, I suppose, powder coming off, because they are quite sort of so dense, but they're quite loose in that respect. These though, you sort of have to work at them, I find, to sort of get that payoff. Like other shadows, like Wet n Wild, sleek shadows, I can do one swatch, finger or brush, and I can get a lovely payoff. But with these, I find I have to sort of work at it a little bit. It is sort of worth it. I do kind of like these ones. They're not a large sort of shimmer to them, and it's not really doing it justice. I don't think it's a beautiful bluey grey shadow there. I'll just get another brush, and for example this brown one on the other end, they do look very glittery in the actual pan. This is just 2 swipes. One thing I do find about them, they do give a bit of fallout as well. As you can sort of see, they've sort of pulled up a little bit there. So what I do is I always have put on eyeshadow bases or primers or something to help them sort of adhere to the eye and get more of a colour payoff with them, because like I said, you do have to sort of build at them, whether they're the matte or the actual frost ones. I'll do the black, there, the black one. I probably should have put a base or something down on my hand to actually help, but it'll give you an idea anyway. So you really have to sort of blend them to sort of get them sort of just go sort of smoothly on there as well. We can see that's the black. It's not like the blackest black. I'm just going to use my finger just to show you one. I'm going to use this one here. It's a beautiful sort of beige colour there, and that's actually quite good, the payoff there, just with my finger. They are smoother, I must admit. The matte shadows feel very smooth. They don't come off chalky on me though, and on other people that I have tried them on. Pretty much with them dry, my sort of feelings are, no, they are not like some of my MAC shadows. They're not like my Sleek or my Wet n Wild shadows that I've tried, which I can literally just touch them and I get a lot of pigmentation or colour payoff. On the other extreme though, some people might like that because they don't want to have that sort of, you know, strong intense pigment on their eye and then have to sort of blend, you know, on their eye and stuff like that. If you just want just a gentle sort of pigmentation, that's fine. But if you are someone out there who goes, look, I really want to see the eyeshadows on there, I really want, you know, impact, I would suggest wetting them. I'm just going to give you an example. So here's that black one, and I did like literally swatch it around in the shadow, and then try and get that on there. I'm going to actually wet that brush now. I'm just using Max Fix Plus. You can just use water and just a couple of swipes. Look at that. That's like I've just gone and attacked some charcoal or something, but that is like, that's wow, that is what you sort of are probably wanting. So I'm going to try that shimmery one now, the brown one, which I guess would be S1 if you're going from, you know, that way, left to right, we. Now there's what you would probably get, you know, for some shadows like, I'm trying to think, maybe Urban Decay or something, like one of those really beautiful frosty shimmery shadows. So that's it there dry with a couple of swipes with the brush. That's it wet with a couple of swipes with a brush. But you can sort of see the difference. So that's, I mean, if you are just wanting that without having to tinker around, you know, trying to swatch and do all that with that, maybe this probably isn't a favorite. But I mean, for me with oily eyelids and I having to put a base down and everything to make everything sort of stay on, sometimes, you know, having that sort of intensity with the wetness and help it sort of adhere to the lids and stay on during the day is maybe something I'd be going for. You know, obviously if I'm going out at night, not that it happens a lot now, but yeah, that's sort of what I would sort of do, and that is what I actually did on some people as well, with the darker colours. I've sort of really played around on my friends' faces a lot, like particularly with their eyes. I mean, sometimes I just can't be bothered with my hooded eyelids, so I've got some friends that have beautiful sort of shaped eyes. Not that I'm saying there's anything wrong with hooded eyelids, but you know, I just want to sort of get this like woohoo glam going. So I've played around with I think it was this one, which would be S7, and was these two, so M5 and 6, the taupey grey and that one. If you go to the website of Smashbox, which I will link below, they'll probably give a proper colour descriptions a little bit better than I would be giving them. But that's sort of what I suggest. If you're just finding you're a little bit frustrated with your palette, just wet it. I mean, you just put some water in a bottle or something like that, and then just, you know, you can spray your brush. Don't spray on the palette. sort of spray on the brush, or even just spray a little bit of water on the back, you know, somewhere on your hand or something like that, and then you can pick up your shadow with that dry and then work it in there if you prefer not to have any sort of transfer as well. But what I do, I always clean my palettes anyway after I've used them. Like I said, because I will be using them on other people as well. Overall, how I feel about the palette, I think it's a good little value. I'd say it's $49 US, I'm talking here, but you get the little mini mascara. You get actually a really decent little brush. I mean, I've just used it there and it seems sort of fine, but it's a good little duo-ended brush to carry around with you. And I do like this. If you are someone that likes that sort of paper to sit down and actually have a look at this, not everyone has straightforward, oh, I've only got almond eyes. You might have almond hooded eyes. It's not like a strict sort of, oh, this is how you sort of follow it. You'll sort of know. You can have a play around with this or practice on other people with this if you want to. But it's a cute little guide to sort of give someone as well. As far as the color range, it's definitely more for people that like those sort of, if you wanted to do maybe a glittery glam eye, a sort of smoky eye, an everyday work eye, it does have those good sort of nice natural colours that you would probably like, or if you like me, like browns and taupes and that, it does have a little good thing there. Ones you can use as your highlighter colour. And just quickly to say on these ones, you've got 6 which are pretty much that same intense sort of shimmery look there. They're not large chunks of glitter, but as you can hopefully see, they are quite intense. But there's this one right in the middle there. Let me get another brush. Clean my brush. The palette. But this one is really pretty. It's more of a like frosty sheen rather than a shimmer. Like it doesn't have the big intense, or it doesn't have those shimmery bits in it. And this one, I don't know if you can see, this is actually really pretty. I did try on one of my eyelids one, but just to sort of, you know, you wet it and then put it all over. It's a beautiful champagne sort of colour that you can have all over. You could do it as a base if you don't have really intensely oily lids, or you can sort of put down your eye base or your eye primer and then pop that over the top. It gives a beautiful, you can see that sheen as well. Use that as a liner, wet. You know, with an angle brush, use that as your liner, then go, you know, try the other ones dry. It just depends. So I'd have a play around with it, and if you haven't got it, if you're thinking about it as a little gift, like I said, it does have the mascara and the little duo-ended brush. Like I said, it's a fairly decent little gift, and it does have that wow factor as a look. Look at that. Like I said, mirror and all that. So it is one you could travel with it as well. So that's sort of my little review slash overview. If you do have it, let me know your thoughts down below. Okay guys, take care. You can see it, it's hilarious. I don't even know if you can hear the music going in the background, but he's having a good little dance. Go! Oh, there goes the messy background. In his pajamas, alright! You